Thank you. Recording in progress. All right. Good morning. We are here for a special meeting of the Board of Commissioners, August 14th. And this morning, first item of business on our agenda, well, the first two are related, but we have a presentation of the initial damage assessment and data recording for the August storms. We have Public Works and Emergency Management online joining us. And then that information will lead into item 2, a consideration for the renewal of our resolution 23-12, the resolution declaring a local disaster emergency for Lake County. Claire or Michael, or Mabel, who would like to begin with the damage assessment, please?
I can go ahead and start, and then, sorry, I don't know why my camera isn't turning on. I apologize. Give me 1 second to mess with that real quick.
Sure. And do we have a spreadsheet, or do we have anything to share that we can tee up?
I can kind of share some things. Well, I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't know why my camera isn't working. But no, I can kind of talk about some things, and then Michael and Mabel, if you guys have anything to add, please feel free to jump in. But yes, so last week you all did declare a disaster emergency in response to the August storms that we saw on August 1st and anything that came throughout the month of August. So I did just want to talk about some of the results that we've gotten in so far, both on the assessment of the private infrastructure and the public infrastructure as well. It sounds like you all had a really good conversation with Meredith last week from the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. And then I'm happy to take any questions as well that came from that. So on the private side of things, as you know, we did send out a survey to Lake County residents asking them to self-report any damages they had sustained from the storms. As of today, we've received 26 responses, 20 in English, 5 in Spanish, and then 8 of those responses have also submitted photos of their damage. Through those reports, we've seen people saying that they sustained damage to their roof, that they have leaking from shingle damage, basements and crawl spaces, which we expected, and that damage to basement and crawl spaces in turn led to damage to water heaters and furnaces. And then also kind of tying into the damage that Public Works saw was damage to driveway or access issues getting into their driveway. Also coming out of those reports, out of those 26, 14 responded that they did have appropriate insurance levels for their homes. 10 reported having no insurance, and 2 reported being underinsured. In addition to that, I did receive some emails saying that they've already spoken with their insurance and insurance won't cover the damage that they sustained to their home. So that was kind of what we saw from those reports. Do you guys have any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, thanks, Claire. I do have a question. Should we extend, are we seeing trends of people who are reporting, and should we make an effort to do some more outreach to make sure that folks know about their ability to report?
Yes, I would like to try to get this pushed out more. I was able to put some flyers around town. I've also been posting this on social media, and some of our partners on social media have shared it. And then I've been emailing it out as well. But any additional channels that we can get this survey out to, I would absolutely love to pursue if you all have any suggestions.
Okay. Thanks.
So yeah, so kind of going off the private, so Meredith was up in Leadville last week on Wednesday, and she did damage assessments to some local businesses that were affected. And then as well as the National Mining Museum also received some damage. So she met with the executive director over there. And then I met, as I mentioned at the previous meeting, with Bobby from the West region, and we did get some drone footage of West Park and the cemetery, and she has sent that footage over, which I now have included for our records and all that. So that was kind of all I had from kind of the private side and what Meredith did last week. I can talk about the public infrastructure side, or Michael and Mabel, since you guys are online, if you guys would like to talk about that.
So as far as the roads and things, basically we had damage as far south as Gowan Track. And as far north as Mountain View. On both sides of Mountain View, all of the housing and stuff in that area. We had some major damage along County Road 4, basically from the drainage from West Park and the east side of Leadville, the northeast side. And West Park took a big hit. Mount Homestake Drive, there was really no way to patch in the asphalt that was washed up, so we went ahead and repaved it. So that was about $30,000 so far. I know that we've got a lot of other time just doing cleanup around the county. We had a lot of overtime the first night, just trying to get roads open again and travelable to the public. And we still have a lot of cleanup to do. We have a lot of ditches to clean out that got filled up by the sediment as it washed down. Mountain View drainage between Mount Massive and Mount Lincoln West. I guess it's never been cleaned because I didn't even know the ditch was there. And it was filled up with sediment and not draining at all. It was flooding people's yards. And that's pretty much it. Just, a lot of stuff that we got to clean up still, so we'll still have time and energy into it, effort into it, and keep you updated as we go along. Right now we're still paving Homestake, so a lot of our crews are over there working. We do have damaging in the courthouse annex from a roof leak. The water built up on the roof and then got into behind the wall and behind the roof on the wall on the east side, and flooded 4 offices. Ceiling tiles, damaged the furniture, the floor got soaked. We had a water in the courthouse, but we're not sure where that water came from, whether it was a drain pipe leak or something from the roof. We have not determined where that came from yet. But those are the only county buildings besides my office that got flooded. And my roof has not been repaired yet, but it will be in the next week or so.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Claire.
Kind of put some numbers on that. Chris Ortola did send over a spreadsheet. It looks like we're looking at maybe $161,000 in repair to kind of all the roads that Michael just mentioned. And then Mabel's been tracking staff time associated with it, and it looks like it's about $12,000 in labor. Michael and Mabel, do those numbers sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So with kind of all that being said, this week Meredith will be meeting with the State Recovery Task Force and her leadership at the state as well, and they'll be kind of talking about different routes. We have not to this day received any numbers from either the city of Leadville or Leadville Sanitation. So I'll be working to reach out to them again to see if we can get some numbers, any damage that they sustained. So my recommendation would be to extend the disaster declaration for 14 days. That would take us out until August 28th, where during that time, Meredith will meet with her leadership. I'll continue to work with Meredith. We'll continue to gather information from residents and partners and kind of get a fuller picture.
Okay. That works. And then Claire, sorry, remind me, I think we did talk to Meredith a little bit about bigger, kind of more preventative, perhaps, systems like improvements on drainage, storm drainage and whatnot. Will we be, I mean, I think the city would be a part of that with the rail yard development and maybe the school district. Are those conversations that we plan on having?
When I talked with Meredith last week, it seems like the best route forward from us is pursuing funding for different mitigation projects.
Okay.
And that would, but we do need to get, kind of damage assessments from the city as well, to have them be a part of that.
Right. Anybody have any questions for the consideration of 14-day extension?
I don't.
All right. Chris, were we amending this
Yes.
for, just what resolution number, what's your proposal there?
Well, we had, there was a gap. The resolution for this should have been numbered 2023-11 instead of 12. So just requesting an amendment since it's being extended, that the name title of it be amended to 2023-11 instead.
Okay.
So you can include that in your motion to extend.
Okay.
Do you need to reread the resolution or?
I don't have it in front of me to reread at the moment, but I wasn't planning on it.
Okay.
Unless you.
No, I
prefer
don't
to.
No, I don't think so, because I think
Okay.
we already have it on the record, so I would feel comfortable not.
I think you can just use the language in the agenda for your motion and the
Sure.
amendment to the title.
Would anyone like me to?
I can do that.
Okay, August 28th is the 14-day.
Is the 14 day?
Yeah,
Okay.
the next step.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we renew and amend the name of resolution 23-12 to resolution 23-11. A resolution declaring a local disaster emergency for Lake County for an additional 14 days to expire on August 28th.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion?
None for me, thank
None
you.
for me.
Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. Thanks, Claire. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mabel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's item 1 and 2. Item 3 on our agenda is to move into executive session. I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session to consider the purchase, acquisition, lease, transfer, or sale of real, personal, or other property pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024A and determine positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, develop a strategy for negotiations, and or instruct negotiators pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024E, and to hold a conference with the county attorney to receive legal advice on specific legal questions pursuant to CRS 24-6-4024B.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
We'll be inviting the county manager, attorney, and Jackie Wheelahan into the conversation.
Yep.
Not,
I don't think so, Sarah, right now.
okay, great. And with that, I think we will attempt to create or
I don't
pause
have a
our.
mouse.
Okay, it's 11:08 and we're coming out of executive session. No decisions were made in executive session, but we do have a couple of
Yeah.
motions to make.
Are we ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Great.
ready.
Okay, so I will make a motion to ask the housing director, Jackie Wheelahan, to proceed with making an offer on the following properties. On 603 Elm for $335,000. 610 Elm Street for $375,000. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 613 Elm Street, $375,000. And 631 for $350,000.
What was the first one? I'm sorry. I
Oh,
didn't get that
603.
one out. No,
335.
335, okay. Okay,
I'll second.
Oh, sorry,
That's okay. Any further discussion?
not for me.
Done for me. Did I get all the things in there, Chris?
Yep,
Okay,
I think so.
okay.
All right, hearing no further discussion, all of those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
You ready for the next one?
yeah,
Or do you have anything else?
no, I don't have anything else. I'm just gonna direct staff.
So I'll make a motion that we direct staff to initiate negotiations for the acquisition of property with St. Vincent Hospital representatives. Do we have to list the property or?
That's it, just the property's owned by St. Vincent Health.
Okay, which is, property is currently owned by St. Vincent Health. Okay,
I'll second. Any further discussion?
none for me, thank you.
Not for me.
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. And I think that concludes our meeting for this morning. Anything else before we adjourn?
None for me, no.
Okay, all right, and we'll adjourn at 11:11. Thank you very
Put
much.
those together and